If your life just turned upside down, or you're in the middle of a major change or challenge or struggle or shift or just challenge right now, and you're trying to move forward, you're trying to make decisions, but you can't, this video is for you. Maybe even the smallest decisions right now feel just so heavy. What to do next? What decision do you make? Even the simple things of what do I cook for dinner right now can feel really draining. And then on top of that, you get frustrated with yourself because you think you should be doing something by now, or you should be further along. And just so much pressure you put on yourself, so much weight you're adding, and that pressure just stacks and makes everything feel heavier. So in this video, I want to help you understand why this happens, especially after loss or a major life change, and just normalize it a little bit. And then give you one simple way to take just some of the weight off today. Not to fix everything, but just to help you feel even a little bit lighter. What I see so often is just people telling themselves and how mean they are to themselves if they're stuck or they're lazy or they're avoiding or doing something wrong. But usually what's happening is it's a combination of just exhaustion and grief and overload. Maybe you want clarity. Maybe you do want momentum. Maybe you want to feel like yourself again. But instead, decisions are overwhelming. You second guess yourself. You doubt yourself. You're avoiding choices. And not because you don't care, but because it feels just too much. And this can happen after a lot of things, after someone you love passes away, after a breakup or an ending or a divorce, after infertility, or a diagnosis, a career ending, a burnout, or even just the world we're living in right now, and just so much coming at us. It's a lot. And decision making takes energy no matter what space of life you're in. But after loss or change, your system is working harder. Grief takes energy. Uncertainty takes energy. Rebuilding a sense of who you are takes energy. Your brain is constantly scanning for safety, trying to make sense of what's happening or what's happened in your life. And adjusting to that takes energy. And at the same time, grief and loss, that impacts parts of the brain responsible for focus or motivation and decision making. Our prefrontal cortex, which helps us plan and prioritize and choose, it doesn't function the same way under prolonged stress or loss. So decision making is harder because it's harder, if that makes sense. Not because you're incapable, but because your system is in overload. And on top of that, grief often keeps our body in a heightened state of alert or even a shutdown. When your system doesn't feel safe or it doesn't feel settled, it treats decisions as a potential threat. And even neutral choices feel heavy. So when people say, I don't know why I can't decide, or why does everything feel so hard? It's often not indecision or just procrastination or laziness. It's decision fatigue. Your mind is carrying so much. It's carrying unfinished thoughts, unprocessed grief or emotions, things you feel you should be doing, questions you don't have the answers to. And when all of that stays in your head and weighing on your heart, it piles up. And the more mental load you're carrying, the heavier it feels. Nothing is wrong with you. Your system is overloaded. So if you've been telling yourself that you should be doing more or moving faster or, just being hard on yourself, or you should have more clarity by now, I just want to interrupt that. You're not failing at moving forward. You're adjusting to who you are now, especially after something has changed in your life. And that adjustment period alone can look like hesitation or fatigue and not knowing. And sometimes lightness doesn't come from making the right decision. It comes from lessening the pressure you're putting on yourself to have it all figured out, and even just giving yourself a little grace. So this is where I want to just offer you something really simple that you can do right now, just to kind of loosen things up inside and lighten your load. So grab a piece of paper or even the notes app, or even if you just want to email yourself. The point is that you just want to get everything out, whether you write it down or type it all down, just anything that is occupying all the space inside or taking up space in your head. And it's not to solve it or to organize it perfectly. This is not a to-do list. This is just to get it out of you. So you just want to get everything out that's swirling in your head, all the things you feel you should be doing, or the decisions you're avoiding, or just anything that you feel you're carrying. Let it out. And there's real value in this, because once it's out there, or once it's on paper, your nervous system doesn't have to hold it anymore. And even that process alone can help you feel so much lighter. And then if you want to take a small step, you don't have to ask yourself, okay, what's the right next move or what should I be doing now? But I want to invite you to ask yourself this instead. What's one thing on this list or that I just wrote down that I could do or let go of for now that would help me feel lighter? That's it. It's just inviting a little bit of lightness. What's that one thing that would help you feel lighter? Maybe it's something small. It might be organizing something. Maybe it is sending an email or a text. Or maybe it's just taking a nap. Or maybe you just don't do anything with it right now and just let this process be enough for today. Because it's not about productivity. It's about just relieving that pressure on yourself. So if you're in a season where things are feeling heavy or unclear or just slow, that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Sometimes the first step forward isn't action. It's understanding what's happening inside yourself, carrying it a little less, and like I said, giving yourself just a little bit of grace in the process. So if this resonated with you, or you're just navigating a season where everything is feeling a lot or hard or heavy, I hope you just know that you're not alone. And I do share more reflections like this every week here. And I just would invite you to come back or even share with me in the comments what's feeling heavy for you right now. And if you do ever want deeper support, there are ways that you can work with me, and I'll leave that below. And I'd love to invite you to schedule a free connection call with me, and I'll leave that link as well. In the meantime, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.